So for us, I think it was section before design came first, and it's an elevated section with a nice little flat platform up top. So we knew we had to make use of the views because we've got a view out of Foxton Beach right through to the river mouth, and then along the river back towards the Foxton Township. And the other factor in the design is the shape of the platform. So we went for an elongated sort of barn style shape because that seemed to fit the profile of the section best, and we quite like that minimalist sort of style and design, so that's kind of what guided us to make those calls. I think we'd seen it a couple times before, maybe on things like YouTube. You come across the odd video and seeing the signs around and bits and pieces.
I think the general vibe at that stage was that it was out of our reach. It was going to add heaps of cost to the build. Just, not something that we could do for our first build, basically. I mean, a big part of wanting to build a nice new house was to have a nice, warm, dry, healthy home. But as we looked into it more, we realised that actually maybe it is something that we could look into doing.
We knew about them before we were going to build with them, and as Lani was saying, we didn't think it was really feasible for us, but as time went on, we kind of almost came full circle, went through a couple of trial and error periods, and we landed back at eHaus, and we're pretty glad that we did. I think what actually surprised us is once we pulled the trigger with eHaus and went with them, that was sort of spurred us to do a bit more homework on it, and then we found out just how badly our construction stacks up against the rest of the world's. People come here from overseas and they can't understand why it's the same temperature inside as it is outside. So once we got to walk through a couple of finished eHouses and we noticed the difference and just how good it felt, that was it definitely reinforced our decision.
Almost spot on, eh? I mean, that initial consultation with eHaus was quite brief, really, wasn't it? Yeah, Warren came back not very long after with a sort of hand-drawn scribble that basically summed up what we were after. So
a well-drawn scribble.
A well-drawn scribble. With a lot of hard work put into it. Yeah.
To be honest, what we're looking at getting for our money is pretty awesome. Yeah. So we're pretty much achieving an architectural style home without paying through the nose, so we're pretty impressed with how far it's going. Yeah.
Not only architectural looking, but the eHaus performance as well.
Because it's been probably a couple of years since we got the section, and it is sort of slow going, the whole process, but we're glad we went through that whole journey because we've ended up in the right place. Seeing ground broken, I think, and something happening on the land. Stuff going down on the section will be awesome. I'd say don't rule it out as an option until you've consulted with people with eHaus. It's more achievable than you think, and there's a lot of different ways that you can sort of get it over the line. Take the time to get a consultation and just see where you can go from there.